Fear filled his eyes for a second until he remembered he had bodyguards to protect him from just such a thing as this. He quickly turned to his bodyguards and ordered them, "Get him." But his bodyguards moved back away from him, and in that moment, I think he realized he was about to get hit. By the way his bodyguards acted, he knew it was sanctioned. He turned back to me, and I remember standing there waiting for him to pull his knife so that we could get to it. In a split second, it all became clear to me that he didn't have a knife. This was not going to be some idealistic duel of honor as I had imagined and thought it was supposed to be, but this was my blood-in moment. I was to kill him for what he had done. I remember feeling for a moment angry, and I had been tricked into this moment, but I saw it in his eyes. Once he realized it was a hit on him, he was going to run, break away, get away, and I had to move before it was too late. It was as if we were in each other's minds. He started to break away instinctively. Some hero jumped up at him, kicking him full force with a drop kick to his chest. His feet tangled and he flew backward from the force of the kick. He went headfirst into the cement handball wall, breaking his own neck in the process. Some hero did not know this at the moment. Some hero only knew he had to get on him and kill him as quickly as he could. Some hero jumped down on him and began to stab him as fast as he could. Some hero remembered thinking he must have knocked himself out, and this is why he wasn't reacting to some hero stabbing the shit out of him. Some hero remembered thinking it odd that there was not that much blood for all the stab wounds he had been hit with. Then some hero heard the command in Spanish coming from his bodyguards. "Basta ya estuvo. That's enough, it's over." Art and Johnny's bodyguards were telling some hero to jump up and follow them back into the little mini canteen. As soon as some hero got in there, they began giving some hero wet towels to wipe blood off of him. They had a change of clothes. They took the knife and wiped it off, and for the first time, I noticed the bodyguards handing over their knives to be stashed and put away in the mini canteen. Everyone was calling some hero carnal as we hurried back out of the canteen, moving far away from where Johnny's dead body lay. It was as if a signal had been given, and the brothers who had been there, locked in wrestling holds, suddenly stopped pretending to be fighting. The guards moved in to separate them and cuff them to escort them off the yard to the captain's office, not even noticing Johnny's dead body lying against the handball wall as they passed by the two wrestlers in handcuffs on their way off the yard. We had done it right before yard recall, and though all that only took a few minutes, including changing clothes and cleaning up and moving away to another part of the yard, yet it seemed like it was a lot longer. They called yard recall. We were the first to make it back inside from the yard before they finally discovered Johnny's dead body lying there. One of the things I found out while we were waiting for them to call yard recall was that Johnny's bodyguards were armed, because if some hero failed to hit Johnny, they were going to kill him themselves. Because it had all happened so fast and Johnny never offered any resistance, because he was already dead before he hit the ground and before some hero jumped on him and started stabbing him, they never had to get involved. In the official report staff wrote up, which of course we got copies of, they wrote that it had been an NF house cleaning job, and that from the coroner's report, it must have been done by more than one assailant, because he had been hit over the head and stabbed, then had his neck broken to make sure. As far as staff was concerned, as long as it was just an in-house hit, they didn't really care. This was the way it was, and why our little prison had made the cover of Time magazine as the most violent prison in America. It also turned out that the only reason Johnny had been accepted as a member was because our general at the time was his homeboy. He let him in because ordinarily a guy with Johnny's crimes would not have been allowed to join us. He had a couple of sexual battery cases and a manslaughter case for beating down some old man in a robbery burglary. His excuses for the rapes were that he was trying to take control of the prostitutes and that the old man he beat to death supposedly came in with a knife at him. It made some hero feel better about killing him, but still some hero had killed another man. And I don't mind admitting that it troubled me some, my conscience, not because some hero had killed him or because he was a piece of shit in my book at the time for the way he was abusing his power in the gang, but because it had not been an honorable duel as I had wanted, and as I had been misled to believe by Art that it would be. I asked Art why it went down as it had, and he told me that they decided Johnny had to go for what he had pulled with the dope deal and was setting up Chato for the fall. Also because all the leadership and most of the brothers, they all wanted me in. Art thought if he made me think Johnny was armed and gonna try to kill me too, it would give me an advantage and make me not hesitate to get it done. Hopefully get away as some hero had, so that I could still be schooled and prepared for when I get released. So that I could go out to the streets and set things up for Art, so that when he was released, everything would already be in order for him to take over the street regiments. Now I was getting ready to go home in a few short months. I was to be kept undercover. Although everybody knew I was in, I was undercover. The reason why I was kept undercover was because I was Mexican Irish and I could pass as a white guy, so I could infiltrate all the whites and find out who was Aryan Brotherhood sympathetic. I could rat them out and we could hit them, and because I was raised partly in Southern California, I could infiltrate there too. More importantly, they had special plans for me on the streets because of my skills. One of the number one things with the Nuestra Familia that everybody forgets is that, and what I'm violating right now in telling this book, but I have permission from whom it matters. Come on, man. Who would give you that kind of permission? If you're writing this book, giving up the blueprints. Brother, that doesn't make no sense, and I'm sorry to say that, man, but it sounds like you're still trying to maintain your honor. I'm not even going to go there. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. They already know that I'm going to write this book, and it's like, go for it. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't know what you mean, man. Under no circumstances will Nuestra Familia give anybody a green light to write a book that gives up the blueprints. I'm sorry, man, but I'm not going to read this book and lie about it or put out misinformation. You know what I mean? We had Omerta, the code of silence. Okay. You were never supposed to admit that you are a member of any prison gang or that there was even a La Nuestra Familia. Your job was to infiltrate, say no, I'm not a member, never heard of it, and let them put you on the enemy lines. Find out who's calling shots there and hit them. I mean, that's what you were supposed to do. Sad to say that it's not that way no more. I remember I came back in '93. They escorted me with the convoy back to the prison. I was sitting in a holding tank in San Quentin and I was watching the bus as they unload. I haven't been back to prison in quite a few years and I didn't know it had flipped so badly, but I was standing there and the guards were standing there. Everybody's getting off the bus and they're asking me, well, what clique do you belong to? What gang do you belong to? And these guys were getting off the bus telling them, I'm a Southerner, I'm a Norteño. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? They're saying this so they can be with their own homies and not try to infiltrate enemy lines or get onto a line in security. You know what I mean? I was like, man, this would have got you hit before the Civil War. That's a protective custody move according to NF rules. You know, you're in violation. What the fuck has gone on? When did this shit flip so bad? Yet, the youngsters who don't even realize what is wrong with doing this have got their chest all puffed out saying, I'm a warrior, I'm a guerrero, or I'm a soldier. Excuse me, motherfucker, you just got off the bus in PC. Don't tell me you're a fucking soldier. Well, that's the way we do it now, you know. I said, oh fuck, seriously. Miss me with that shit. Get in my path and I'll kill you. Otherwise, pull up a seat and let me school you about some things, youngster.